Welcome to God in the Wild. I'm your host, Kent Harrop. In this first season, we'll explore how nature heals, inspires, and restores us. We'll consider, too, ways in which the natural world connects with and awakens us on our spiritual journey. John Muir, the great conservationist and mystic, put it this way: "Into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul." Each episode will reflect upon ways nature speaks into and expands our spiritual lives. Welcome to God in the Wild. One of the ways in which I seek to renew myself, one of the ways in which I seek to manage the stress in my life, in the midst of all the uncertainties of our time, is to be on the water. And today I'm in the midst of the Ipswich estuary, which leads from the town of Ipswich, founded in 1634, and goes all the way out to Crane Beach, and it's about 5 miles from Ipswich Landing to get to the mouth of the ocean, and then you kind of time the tides as best you can, and you shoot out into the ocean and you take a right, and it will take you to Crane Beach, about a half mile to your right. Or if you turn to the left in the ocean, it will take you to Plum Island, which is just a beautiful island, and it's a wonderful place to watch birds. In December, they are known for a landing place for the great white owl, great white snowy owl, and people come from all around the region, and in fact all around the country to see the great snowy white owl. So it's kind of a magical place. It's a wondrous place. And for me, it's a spiritual place. And I think for many of us, whether we use the language or not, it's a spiritual place. And I think of the word spiritual as a word that speaks of tapping into that great mystery, that which is unknowable, but that which touches our soul, touches our spirit, sends goosebumps up our arms. And sometimes the only word we can say is, wow. So what are the sacred places for you? Where do you get your wow moments in the natural world? And I know mobility is an issue that limits the access into the wild for some of us, for sure. But I think kayaking is a great way to be on the water because if you don't have shoulder issues, and if you have some mobility issues and have some assistance to get in and out of the boat safely, it can be a great way of getting out and about on the water. And it's an easy sport to learn. Need some guidance, some safety principles. But where do you go to get out into the natural world? For some of us, it's on the ski slopes. For others of us, it's walking on the beach and beachcombing. Some of us, it's walking around our neighborhood. For others of us, it is just simply going out into our backyard or looking out the window at the birds. John Muir, who was instrumental in Yosemite becoming a national park and founded the Sierra Club, has a wonderful quote. He said, "I went for a walk in the woods, and in going out, I found I was really going within." And I find that to be an evocative phrase because it taps into that which we know to be true instinctively when we're outdoors. That when we're going outside, and we breathe more deeply, and we get some exercise, and we see the beauty of nature, and we have these wonderful surprises around, sometimes on the water, around every bend. There may be a great blue heron, a great white egret, a great snowy white owl in the wintertime, or it could be just some sparrows or chickadees or cardinals outside your window. Everyday birds that make you say, wow, life is worth living. And even though at the moment it may be stressful, today will be okay. And tomorrow may be even better. John Muir. I went for a walk, and in going out, I found I was really going within myself, to renew myself, to restore myself, to be blessed. Right now on this, I'm on an inlet going through a great salt marsh. And in Ipswich, going up to Newburyport, is the largest salt marsh intact in New England. It's where there is just huge ecological activity. It's a fishery. It's where fish come in to spawn and to be safe from the tides. And it's a place where there are all sorts of mammals that explore. Deer and muskrats and beaver and mink and otters. And then there are predatory birds like the great osprey, which has a 6-foot wingspan. And on occasion, if you're really fortunate, you'll see a bald eagle, which has been making its home once again in its ancestral land. And going out, I found I was really going within. In the Psalms, in the Bible, the psalmist says, if I go to the mountains, Creator, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths of the sea, you are there. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I am wonderfully made. That sense of awe and wonder at the mystery. So whatever your spiritual life may look like, whether you claim a religious tradition or whether you have a sense of that which is just greater than yourself, I invite you, during this time of pandemic, during this time of national division politically and culturally, this time when we're trying to free ourselves and come to terms and understand the inherent sin of racism since our very founding in our nation, and to become freed from it. As we're dealing with all of that uncertainty and whatever else is going on in your life or my life, one antidote to handling the stress and the uncertainty is to get out and be restored. Søren Kierkegaard, the theologian, said, the Creator is always present, simply waiting to be found. So, take a deep breath. Thanks for being with me on this paddle. Until we meet again, be kind, be hopeful, and be well. Thank you for listening to this episode of God in the Wild. Please share this episode with friends and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. You can follow God in the Wild on Facebook and Instagram at God in the Wild Pod. You can subscribe online and leave us a rating and review. This podcast is a production of the First Baptist Church of Beverly, Massachusetts. In the spirit of John Muir, go out into the wild and find and feed your soul. I'm Kent Harrop. Thanks for listening.